This lesson is adding text and images. In this lesson, you will learn how to add text and images to web pages to create an immersive and interactive experience for your visitors. To begin the lesson, we will create a new Dreamweaver site. Let's name the site Lesson 3. And then let's navigate to our DW Lessons folder on our desktop or wherever you have it stored, and choose our DW303 Lessons folder. Once we've named the site and chosen the local folder, we'll click Save. And in the Files panel, let's double-click on Events HTML. In this lesson, we will work with various types of HTML elements and apply styling with cascading style sheets. To begin, let's place our cursor in front of the first sentence. There's big news at Organic Utopia this spring. Press Enter or Return to create a new line. First, we'll create a heading or title for our page. We'll begin by typing Organic Utopia Events. Click and drag to highlight or select the text you just typed. In the Property Inspector at the bottom of the workspace, click the drop-down arrow next to Paragraph in the Format menu. We will choose Heading 1 to identify this as a Level 1 heading within our HTML document. The text increases in size and becomes bold. By default, the style of any HTML text formatted as Heading 1 is generic. The color is black, and the font family is Times New Roman. Although you're working in Design View, we have actually changed the HTML for this page. To see the change, we can click the Split button and locate line 9, Organic Utopia Events, and is surrounded by the H1 opening and closing tags. We'll return to Design View and continue working on our page. For the next step, we will format this text in order to change the font style of this heading to Helvetica. However, we will not be using HTML to accomplish this, but rather CSS. With the heading Organic Utopia Events still selected, we will go to the CSS Designer panel on the right-hand side of the workspace. We will use this panel to create CSS styles to change the appearance of our H1 heading. First, we must click the Add CSS Source button, and we will define these rules in our page. Next, we will create the Add Selector button. Selectors define which elements to apply our cascading style sheet styles to. In this case, we will be targeting the H1 element, so we will type H1 for heading 1. Press Enter or Return. With our H1 selector created, we will now identify the properties that we would like to use to display our H1 level heading. Next, we will click the Text button in the Properties panel to display the text-only properties. The Font Family property controls what font we will use to display our text. Click on the placeholder text Default Font. The list of available font stacks is displayed. We will locate and choose the font family starting with Gotham, Helvetica New, Helvetica, Arial, and Sans Serif. After selecting the font, our H1 level heading is now rendered using the selected font. We will now set the color of our H1 level heading using the CSS Color property. In the CSS Designer, locate the Set Color button. When you click on it, it will bring up a color palette. From the color palette, we are going to choose the color 99CC33. HTML uses a hexadecimal numbering scheme to specifically identify one of the 16.7 million colors available to display on your web page. After selecting the color, your H1 heading is now styled using the shade of green that we selected. You will learn more about styling text with CSS using the CSS Designer in a future lesson. For now, we're going to save our work and close this file. Next, we're going to open the products.html file. Place your cursor after the word produce and press Return. We will now explore another way to insert an image into your document. Go to the Insert menu and choose Image, Image. When the Select Image Source dialog box comes up, navigate to your Images folder and select the file beats.jpg. Open the file and Dreamweaver inserts the file into your workspace. As you can see, with the image selected, the Properties Inspector at the bottom of the workspace shows the attributes and properties for the selected image, including the source, the width, and the height. It's always a good idea to add alt text, so in the alt field, let's type beats and press enter or return. Next, we'll explore another way to insert an image. Place your cursor after the beats image and press return. Click the arrow to the left of the images folder to expand the list of all the images. If necessary, widen the column so that you can see the entire file name. Click and drag the file cucumbers.jpg and place it underneath the beats image. Dragging and dropping is another easy way to insert images in your workspace in Dreamweaver. With the cucumber image selected, we can see that the Properties Inspector now shows the source, the width, and the height for that image. This concludes our work with this file for now, so we're going to go to File, Save, and close the file. This is the end of the lesson working with text and images. In this lesson, we went over adding text to our web page, adding structure to our document by adding an H1 level heading and styling it using CSS, and we explored a couple of different ways to add images to our page.